Hey you, yeah, I'm talking to you. How much is your time worth? Well, in this video, I'm gonna show you how to stop getting ripped off by hourly pricing and start getting paid what you're worth. Hi, I'm Mike, Mr. Process Mahoney, and I know how it feels to leave money on the table by charging an hourly rate. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to break out of the hourly pricing black hole and start getting paid what you're worth. So, first topic is how hourly pricing can suck you in and what to do about it. So the first step to getting paid what you're worth is understanding how hourly pricing can trap you. Most businesses operate on some version of an hourly pricing model. You probably do too. And there's nothing wrong with that in theory. The problem comes in when you use hourly pricing as your only pricing model. Here's why. When you only charge by the hour, you're putting a ceiling on your earnings. You can only make so much money in a day or a week or a month. Period. End of story. But your time is worth way more than that. If you want to break out of the cycle of just making enough to get by, then you're going to need to start charging for the value you bring to your clients, not just the time that you spend with them. The good news is it's not as hard as you think. I'm going to show you just how to do it. So, to start charging what you're worth, you need to first know what that is. How much is your time actually worth? You can start by determining your hourly rate. I put that in quotes. This is the amount of money you want to make for every hour you work. To calculate this, simply divide your desired annual salary by 2,080, the number of hours in a year. For example, if you want to make $50,000 per year, your hourly rate would be $24.04. Now, this is just a starting point. Your actual hourly rate will vary based on the type of work you do, the clients you work with, and the value that you bring to them. But hey, it's a good place to start. Now, there are some pros and cons to hourly pricing. It has its advantages. It's simple and easy to understand, which can be a big selling point for potential clients. And if you're just starting out in your business, it can be a great way to get your foot in the door with clients. But there are also some major downsides to hourly pricing. First, as we already discussed, it puts a ceiling on your earnings. You can only make so much money working hour after hour after hour. Second, hourly pricing incentivizes you to work more hours, even when it might not be necessary. After all, the more hours you work, the more money you make, right? Wrong. This often leads to inefficient work habits and subpar results for your clients. Remember, value is important. And finally, hourly pricing can lead to a race to the bottom. When everyone is competing on price, the only way to win is to lower your rates, right? But that just means you're making less money for the same amount of work. It's a lose-lose situation. If you want to charge what you're really worth, hourly pricing is not the way to go. Instead, focus on charging for the value you bring to your clients. That's the key to breaking out of the cycle of just getting by and making the kind of money you deserve. So how are you going to avoid the hourly pricing black hole? So now that you know the downsides of hourly pricing, it's very much time to learn how to avoid it. So here are some tips. Stop selling your time. This first step is to stop selling your time and start selling your expertise. When you sell your time, you're putting a ceiling on your earnings. But when you sell your expertise, the sky's the limit. To do this, focus on delivering results for your clients, not just logging hours. What can you do that will save them time, money, and headaches? How can you make their lives easier? That's the kind of value that clients are willing to pay for. And number two is focus on value-based pricing. Value-based pricing is all about charging for the value you bring to your clients, not just the time you spend with them. It's a pricing model that takes into account the results you deliver, not just the hours you work. To price your services using this method, start by determining the value you bring to your clients. How much do your services save them? How much do they earn as a result of working with you? How much would it cost them if they didn't have access to your expertise? Once you know the answers to these questions, you can start setting your prices accordingly. Now, the third tip is to use package deals. Another way to avoid hourly pricing is to use package deals. Instead of selling your time by the hour, sell your services in a package. This could be a flat fee for a project, a monthly retainer, or even an annual contract. The key is to focus on the results your clients will get, not just the time you spend working. For example, rather than charging $50 an hour for social media management, you could charge a monthly retainer of $500 and guarantee that your client will get X number of posts per week or Y number of new followers each month. When you focus on results instead of time, you open up a whole new world of pricing possibilities. And that's how you start making the kind of money you're really worth. So what to do if you fall into the hourly pricing black hole anyway? Even if you're aware of the dangers of hourly pricing, there's a chance you could still find yourself in the hourly pricing black hole. If that happens, don't despair. There are still ways to get out and start making the kind of money you deserve. Number one, review your existing clients. If you're already working with clients on an hourly basis, take a close look at each one. Are they happy with the results you're delivering? Do they feel like they're getting their money's worth? If not, it might be time to reevaluate your relationship. Number two, negotiate new terms. If you're not ready to let go of a client just yet, try renegotiating new terms. Instead of continuing to charge by the hour, propose a flat fee for the project or a monthly retainer. If they're happy with your work, they'll be open to the idea. And if not, it might be time to move on anyway. Now, the third point is to raise your rates. If you're stuck in an hourly pricing cycle, there's a good chance you're not charging enough for your services. If that's the case, it's time to raise your rates. This will help you make more money and free up some of your time so you can focus on delivering even more value to your clients. And number four is get creative with your pricing. Don't be afraid to get creative. If you're struggling to break out of the hourly pricing rut, think outside of the box and come up with a new pricing model that works for you and your clients. The bottom line is this, guys. Hourly pricing is a trap. It's a race to the bottom that will leave you feeling undervalued and overworked. But there's a way out. By focusing on value-based pricing and getting creative with your pricing models, you can start making the kind of money you're really worth. So how do you get out of the hourly pricing black hole? Are you deep in that hourly pricing black hole? Well, the good news is that as the business owner, you control the pricing model. Here are some steps to get you started. Make sure you communicate with your clients. Once you've evaluated your current clients, it's time to communicate with them about your new pricing model. Explain why you're making the change and how it will benefit them. Most importantly, be upfront about the new prices you'll be charging. Set up a new pricing structure. Now it's time to actually set up your new pricing structure. This will involve some trial and error, so don't be afraid to experiment. The important thing is to find a model that works for you and your clients. The fourth thing to do is to raise your rates. If you're switching to a value-based pricing model, it's likely that you'll need to raise your rates. This can be a very difficult decision, but it's important to remember that you're worth more than you've been charging. By following these steps, you can make the switch from hourly pricing to a more sustainable model. It will take some time and effort, but it's worth it in the long run. So some final thoughts on hourly pricing. It's a common pricing model, but it's not always the best option for businesses or clients. If you're struggling to make ends meet, it might be time to consider switching to a different pricing model. Value-based pricing is a great option for businesses that want to focus on delivering value to their clients. By charging based on the value you provide, you can ensure that you're always making a fair profit. And if you're struggling to break out of hourly pricing rut, get creative with your pricing models. There are all sorts of different options out there. So find one that works for you, your business, and your clients. Now, if you got value out of this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you will be notified every single time a video like this comes out from Top Tier Coaching Services.